Hey book friends, so in this video I am sharing my first TBR for a readathon. And if you watched my 2022 book goals video, you would know that participating in readathons is one of the things I really want to prioritize this year, mostly for the just community building. I have just always enjoyed participating in other people's readathons, and so this is the first of the year, and it's called the Hello 2022 Readathon. So let's hop into my TBR for this readathon. So hi, my name is Angie. Welcome to my channel if you are new here, or welcome back if you have been coming for a while. Like I said, this is my first readathon of the year, and it's a really easy one. It's just a week long, and it's pretty general, which I like in my readathons because it allows me to pick up whatever books I already was planning on picking up. But the prompts also inspired some other ones, so I'm excited to share that with you today. As for details about the readathon, I will put up first a picture of all the different hosts. So I forgot how many there are, like 9 or 10 of them. There's lots of them. I follow Sarah from Sarah's Reading Nook. I think she just has a really sweet personality, and I believe she's one of the main hosts for the readathon, and so I really wanted to participate and support her channel, and it just looked like lots of fun. So here's all the hosts. I will link them all below, and I don't think I've mentioned the dates yet. So the dates this readathon covers is, I believe it is January 23rd to the 29th, so Sunday to Saturday. I'll put up a graphic here, but I'm pretty sure it's the 23rd to the 29th. So that is coming up in just a couple days after I post this video. And so I'm definitely getting excited to pick up some of these books. So that's who's hosting. What else do I have to say? Oh, I'll mention this before I get into kind of the prompts and talk about the books I'm going to be choosing. But they're also doing some reading sprints, and that's what Sarah does a lot on her channel, which I really enjoy. I'm not always able to hop on to reading sprints just because of the stage of life I'm in, but I will try to hop on one of these because I think they have 3 different reading sprints planned for this upcoming week, and so that's exciting, and that's all on her channel. Again, I'll link her below along with the other hosts. Oh, and they also do have some stuff for Instagram. I am just not that good at Instagram, and I can't even really say that I'm working on that. It's just not a high priority. I post every once in a while, but I'm kind of terrible at it. But if you love Instagram, you can kind of participate in some of those things. So I'll put that up, but I don't plan on doing any of it. So let's get into the prompts, because honestly, that's my favorite part of readathons, is to get the prompts and then to see what books I can fit into them. So there's 4 prompts for this readathon, and it is a week-long readathon, 4 books in a week, way more than I can handle. So I'm treating this more as a potential pile of books that I can read. So I am picking 4, even though I have no intention of reading all 4, if that makes sense. But I'm still excited. So let's get into the prompts. Okay, so the first prompt is a book you had hoped to get to in 2021, but just didn't get to it. Oh, there's so many books. But honestly, I came up with one that I've been meaning to finish for a couple years. I think I started this book in 2020, and I put it down for some reason. I can't even remember why I put it down, but I want to finish it, and I want to finish this series, which you'll see next week. I'm going to feature this book again because I want to get into more series this year, and this is the first book in a series. So let me grab the book. The book is Scythe by Neal Shusterman. I have talked about this book on my channel a number of times. It's been on a number of TBRs. I have been wanting to read it. I'm halfway. Honestly, I'm probably just going to start at the beginning again because it's been so long since I've picked it up, but it's a quick read. It's a YA fantasy book. I think it's a dystopian book. The general premise is that the world has figured out how to conquer death. So like a person can die, a person can get injured, a person can get sick, and there's all the medicine that can handle that. People can even die and come back, sort of idea. I forget exactly how it works, but basically they've conquered death, so the population keeps growing, and in order to combat that, so there are people who are appointed to be scythes, which is a hard word to say, I feel like, but it is basically where it's their job to kill people. They are trained to kill people, and it is random in how they kill people. And this story is set on 2 teenagers as they have been selected, can't remember exactly how, but they've been selected to apprentice under a lead scythe and learn how to do it. And then I believe at the end they undergo like a testing of some sort to see if they can enter into the world of scythes. But then there's this like backstory of a group of sides that have kind of gone off the rails. Like they are no longer doing what they should and they're doing some bad stuff, if I remember. But I haven't gotten too far. I just want to finish it, and I think the whole series sounds really good and really fascinating. So this is the first in the series that I will be talking about next week as well. But I'm hoping to get to this because it has been a book that I have had on my TBRs for almost 2 years, which is kind of sad. Next is a book on my 2022 TBR. So I love this. This is great because I have just put up a list of books I want to read based on my favorite booktubers. I put that video out a couple days ago. So it's just a list of 10 books I want to prioritize. And so it's definitely on my 2022 TBR, if you will. So the book that is calling to me from that pile is this book. So it is The Book of Lost Names by Kristen Harmel. Oh, this book sounds so good. It is a World War II historical fiction book, so that is definitely up my alley, and it is definitely kind of narrow focused on a group of people who are dealing with forgeries, who are making the forged documents to help the Jews escape, sort of idea. It focuses on a woman, I forget her name, Eva, who actually was able to escape Paris. Even though her father was arrested, she escaped Paris and she went up into the mountains. And I'm not quite sure how she got involved in the forgery ring there, but she starts to help forge documents to help the Jews escape, basically escape the Nazis. So it sounds really good. This is the book I got off of Krista's book list from Books and Jams. She's great and she made it sound so good. So I definitely want to pick this up. So this is on my short list for the readathon as well. All right, so the next prompt, let me look, is a book that pushes you outside of your comfort zone. So I have a number of books that are pushing me outside of my comfort zone because I am testing out how much I want to read fantasy. I have another first in a series, although this is a rather large book, and who picks up large books for a week-long readathon? We'll see. But this is called Malice by John Gwen, although that seems kind of like a funny way to spell that. I think it says Gwen. And honestly, I can't quite remember what this is about other than the fact that it's kind of this epic fantasy, high fantasy sort of series. There's a lot of battles, I believe. There's a lot of like men versus giants and armies and bloodshed and all this stuff. So I should really look into what this is more about. But it's the first book in like I think a 4-book series that a lot of people like and a lot of people recommend. So I just kind of picked it up based on their recommendations. So that's a book that is out of my comfort zone for sure. Kind of a big, chunky fantasy book. But again, I am interested in seeing if I like these types of books. That is kind of one of my 2022 goals. So it's perfect for this readathon. Next prompt is a book about a new beginning. Okay, so I am currently listening to this book, so that actually helps me. I might be able to do 2 books next week. So this book is called Ona Out of Order by Margarita Montemir. So this book I've been wanting to read for a while, so this actually probably could be in a book that was on my 2021 TBR as well. So anyway, this is a time hopping type book, but I believe it is more of a contemporary book versus a science fiction book. I'm honestly not that far. I'm like 6 chapters in or something like that. But it's a really intriguing book where it talks about this woman whose birthday is New Year's Eve, and every New Year's Eve she kind of time travels to a new and different year. Like for instance, she can start in 1982 and end up in 2015 when she wakes up the next morning, sort of idea. So she is living her life out of order. And it's interesting because she stays at that time for a year, and then come the next New Year's, she skips to a new point in her timeline, and it's just all out of order. So she learns different things at different times. And to me, that just sounds really interesting. I like books that kind of mess with time. I find that really interesting. So as for a book that's about new beginnings, I feel like this book is about like 20 new beginnings as she just tries to figure out her life at all of these different stages. So I'm not sure if that is what the creators of the readathon were intending with this prompt, but I thought it would be really fun. So I'm currently listening to this, so I'm sure I will be still reading it next week. So that is my last book on my stack for this readathon. So my stack looks pretty good. It's a lot, but I also, like I said, I don't intend to read all of these books, but they all look really good and they sound really good. And I just love readathons because they really push me to pick up some of the books on my shelves and some of the books I've been meaning to get to. And I am excited about all of these books. So anyway, those are my plans for the Hello 2022 readathon. Again, check out the host, check out all the information down below, and please feel free to join. It's a really laid back, week-long readathon that I'm really looking forward to. So anyway, that's what I have for this video. I hope you found it fun. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you in the next book video. Okay guys, have a good day.